Welcome back, you're watching Storyboard. Last month, Coca-Cola India kicked off one of its most expensive print and TV campaigns in recent years in what is seen as an off-season for soft drinks. The move is seen as yet another attempt to make the world's #1 beverage brand India's favorite too. That being said, India remains a potential top 5 market for Coca-Cola by 2020, and the company, which celebrated its 20th anniversary in the country last year, has committed investments of $5 billion to help the cause. Animesh met the business unit president of Coca-Cola India and Southwest Asia, Venkatesh Kini, to find out the company's growth strategy and marketing plans.
You're celebrating the 20th anniversary of Coca-Cola in India, and it coincided recently with another bottling plant launch where you maintained that you would continue the $5 billion investment into the country till 2020, and in order to make India the 5th largest market for Coca-Cola eventually. What makes Coca-Cola so optimistic about the Indian market?
Let me begin by saying that we've been here for 20 years. This is our 20th anniversary since our return to the country in 1993. And during that time, we've seen the per capita consumption of sparkling soft drinks grow from 3 per annum, which is 3 drinks per annum was the average, and today it's 20. And if you look at all the indicators, future indicators for the Indian economy, the long-term potential continues to be very, very high. There's growing middle class, rural incomes are rising, there's a youth bulge that we are seeing. And there's also a much greater propensity to consume amongst Indian consumers as they get exposed to world media and internet and things like that.
All right. In the next 5 years, where do you see growth coming from? The urban markets or the rural markets, and why?
See, there's potential for growth in both urban and rural India. I mean, if you look at urban India, the consumption in urban India is on a per head basis is lower than that in other urban markets in the rest of the world. And rural India is, of course, virtually untapped even today. Our experience of the last few years has been that rural has been growing faster of a much smaller base. But with all the transformation that's happening in India and Indian society, especially with growing rural income, this year has been a great monsoon, so you're going to see a lot more agricultural income. And also the penetration of mobiles, internet, and media has made the rural consumer far more, increased the propensity to consume amongst rural consumers.
Let's talk a little bit about Coke's brands. In order of vision of growth potential, what would you say would be the 5 brands from the Coca-Cola India stable that are poised to grow faster than the others?
Well, we've seen growth across our portfolio of brands. We have in India, Coke is the fastest growing soft drink beverage brand in the country. But if you look at with Thumbs Up and Sprite are India's leading brands in the sparkling drinks arena. Maaza is India's leading juice and juice drink brand. Kinley is amongst the top 3 water brands. So we have a range of brands that are extremely strong and distinct from each other. Limca is a unique brand that is that has a very unique cloudy lemon flavor, and that's distinct from Sprite, which is clear lemon. So both the product as well as the way that we position the brands allows us to get growth from all those brands by targeting different consumer segments. So we are looking for growth across the portfolio of brands. Currently, our 2 lead brands are Thumbs Up and Sprite, with Coke gaining rapidly.
All right. In which genres do you see growth coming from? So colas, sparkling drinks as a whole, is it juices?
Our experience the 29 quarters of growth has been broad-based. Okay. We've seen growth across categories. Currently, our leading categories are sparkling drinks, and within sparkling, there are colas, limes, and fruit flavors. All 3 have grown. As far as pace of growth is concerned, actually, we are seeing growth, both colas and limes are growing, I would say, probably equally fast. In juice and juice drinks, mango and non-mango, both segments. Again, Maaza has been one of our fastest growing brands in the last few years. So Indian consumers continue to be passionate about mango. And we have certain brands like Schweppes, which are unique and very specialized in their field. So you were asking about lifestyle brands. From our perspective, Schweppes is the ultimate lifestyle brand in our portfolio.
You have said that one of the top priorities in India is to de-seasonalize the market and make consumption a 12-month thing rather than just restricting to summer months. How big of a marketing challenge is this?
I think I would say it's a myth or a misperception that Coke or Sprite or Thumbs Up are purely summer drinks. Some of our markets where we have extreme variation in temperature, like Punjab, virtually there's no difference in the sales pattern between the first half and the second half of the year. But other markets, the differences are extreme. When we do an analysis of what drives that, it's a combination of consumer perceptions that ye thanda hai, sirf it's only for summers, and also operational. It's almost like a vicious cycle that if consumers slow down the consumption, then the entire distribution system tends to lose steam and lose their rhythm. So to solve this challenge of having a seasonal business, over the last few years, we have been focusing a lot on solving the two in tandem. Creating what you would have seen this year is we've invested in our advertising throughout the year. Even now in the month of December and January, we are advertising on air. And at the same time, we are making sure that our distribution system continues to have an incentive to make a product available in the smallest of retail outlets, in the smallest of villages throughout the year.
Let me talk about brand Coca-Cola in specific now. Is there a brand perception problem as such with brand Coke? Because seeing its current position in the cola market, it's not at the top. So where does brand Coke as such need to improve?
Brand Coke is a newcomer to India. If you think about it, we re-entered the country in 1993. And by then, an entire generation of Indians had grown up with Thumbs Up, which is also our brand, which is the leading cola brand in the country. Coke, although we launched it in 1993, October in Agra, we spent the next 5 years rolling it out across many parts of the country. And I've had the privilege of launching Coke in parts of the country in 1998. So we still don't have a generation of Indians who've grown up with this brand. And food and beverage brands, you often gravitate towards the brand that you've grown up with. And I know for a fact that today, as popular as Thumbs Up is, tomorrow Coke will also be as popular. So I believe it's just a matter of time, and also believe it's a matter of consistent focus and investment behind our entire range of brands, including Coke. And also once people have a taste of the product, they love it.
Now you came back to India at a time when Pepsi announced its IPL sponsorship, and it went ahead and painted the town blues, just screaming out the association. Was the company ever fazed by your competitors' marketing plan? And why not? Because I would assume you would say no.
Well, I won't be able to tell you some of the conversations we've had internally. I wouldn't deny that when a property like the IPL comes up, and there's an opportunity for title rights, there's always going to be a conversation: should we or shouldn't we do it? We have a very scientific method in the company. It's a global tool that we use to measure the value of a marketing property or an asset. So we did our homework, we did a search, and we figured this is how much this asset is worth. And we evaluated, and we found that the kind of numbers that were being bandied about were beyond what we felt we would be willing to pay for the asset, and we chose not to invest in it. Whether that's the right or the wrong decision, only time will tell. But I can say that for us, it's been seeing such a big property, being title branded by a competitor. Obviously, we have to work that much harder to make sure that it doesn't impact our business. But as long as we are very clear about our strategy and our priorities, and we invest consistently behind it, I believe we'll be okay.
Has Pepsi's sponsorship affected the marketing outlay for for your cola brands as such, in terms of where you'll be spending and what you'll be spending on? Because suddenly you have the summer window, which is a crucial window still, being bombarded by a competitor.
We see our business being a year-round business. We row harder in the monsoons and the winter months, and that's where we are investing in our advertising. So we are, our strategy doesn't change because of one marketing asset or the other, or one competitor move or the other. We have a strategic approach to our marketing, and we continue to invest behind that.
All right, Venkatesh Kini, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for sparing time out for us.
Thank you so much.
Expect brand Coke to get a stronger push in the coming months. Television campaign featuring new ambassadors, that's actors Deepika Padukone and Farhan Akhtar, is on the cards as well. With that, it's a wrap on Storyboard this week. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, we're on YouTube, and of course the brands page on firstpost.com. Our e-paper will be up on Wednesday. Until then, thanks for watching.